What is your view on abortion?
I think it's the woman's choice.
Okay.
Their body, their choice.
Yep. So, what about the people who oppose it?
Sorry?
What about the people who oppose that? Be honest.
Yep, I think they should have a long, hard look at themselves as why they feel the need to control somebody else's body.
Would you say that it's wrong for somebody to say that they shouldn't be murdering babies?
That's an interesting question.
Told you it's controversial.
Yeah, you did. I don't view it as murder because the option to medically abort children if they have mental disabilities that would impact their lives or cause them to only exist in suffering, I believe that the option should be existing for that choice to be made.
So statistically, less than 1% of abortions are because of certain reasons, whether it's rape or the child has certain medical issues or whatever it may be. 99% of it, look it up for yourself, is literally because they just don't want the baby.
That's reasonable. It could be that that child would suffer in their life. It could be born into a horrible circumstance where the child would be mistreated because the parent didn't want them. So they would be blamed and they would have a worse value of life than if they had not been forced into that unfortunate circumstance.
So what about abortion agencies and places where they can? Do you think there's better options than just killing the baby?
I think there is better options, and it should be used as a last resort with all the appropriate birth control
One love,
used
one love!
for both the health of the woman and the personal agency of making that choice to responsibly decide that they want to create another human being.
So a woman's choice, is that okay to give her the authority to be able to kill babies? And when I say that, I mean that because I reckon everyone should have the decision to do whatever they want. That's fine, okay. But if we say to have the authority to do whatever they want with their body, how come we don't allow people to kill themselves?
We don't allow people to kill themselves because currently it's outlawed. It is, in very extreme cases around the world, allowed. It's designated as euthanasia, which is ending the suffering for people who are suffering. So we legally don't allow it because it is a loss of income for the government.
So then also...
Often people who are in a dark enough place that they choose to end their own lives often have not received enough support for them to be able to succeed in avoiding going down that path.
So do you think euthanasia is wrong?
No.
Why not?
Often euthanasia is carried out when all other medical expenses and support networks have been expended. So it becomes a last choice.
Okay, what about people who try to end their life because they're just having a hard time? Say it's a teenager who had a hard time at school because her boyfriend broke up with her, whatever it may be. There are people who are trying to jump off the bridge and all this. Why is that wrong? Why do we stop people from doing that?
We stop people from doing that because we want to prevent the loss of life for them, for people who are fully formed individuals from ending their lives without seeking the appropriate supports that could help them avoid that decision and feeling like that was their only option.
Wouldn't that be the same as abortion though?
No, that's different from an abortion because aborting a fetus is not ending the life of a human being.
You wouldn't say it's a human being?
Not at that point, no.
When is it determined to be a human being?
It's determined to be a human being once it's reached the 35-week threshold when medically you are not allowed to abort it because it has become a human being. It is advanced enough that it would be far too much of a risk for the mother, and can't quite remember the terminology that they use for the point of no return, where it is a human being.
So wouldn't it be a human being if it's got a beating heart?
No, because we can grow vat-grown meat that has a beating heart. That doesn't make it alive.
It doesn't make it human.
No, it doesn't.
What I'm trying to say is that with babies, from the moment of conception, they already have their DNA makeup, the color of their eyes and their hair. It's already made up from the moment of conception. They have a heartbeat at about around 4 weeks, And so what I'm trying to say is that if we are aborting baby just because of the position or location of where it's at, or who it's with, you not see anything morally wrong with that?
No, I don't.
So where's the human rights of the baby?
They don't get human rights until they've reached that certain point.
Is it because it's dependent on the mother?
I believe it's currently dependent on the legalese,
What do you mean?
where the law defines.
So some laws define abortion to be illegal, say in America,
Yes,
right?
because it's influenced by the church and religions, and it takes away the autonomy of a woman over control of her own body.
So your premise isn't really based on the government, it's more so on the women's rights.
I believe that we should all have the rights of our own bodies.
So it's not so much about the law, it's more so about the women's bodies. Am I wrong or right?
There's a grey line.
I know, that's why it's a good conversation. There's a very grey area there.
I
And
do have to go to work now, so I thank you very
what's
much.
your name again?
Rick.
Rick, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. Have a
God
great
bless.
night.
Have a good one.